trailed by Kano with 1,025 COVID-19 cases. So far, 4,351 recovered patients have been discharged, with 382 deaths on record. Still on COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic has to a considerable degree instilled fear, anxiety, and trepidation among citizens of many nations. Against this background, Joy Ken Abakwe reports on the psychological impact of COVID-19 and the attendant consequences on lifestyle in general.
Researches have shown that symptoms of anxiety, depression, and stress are included in a long list of psychological symptoms of the coronavirus pandemic.
The enormity of living in isolation, lifestyle changes, job loss, financial hardship, and grief over the death of a loved one has affected the mental health and well-being of many people around the world.
Not just about psychology, we should be talking more of psychosocial problems, psychosocial challenges. So it is more embracing. There's more to the challenges, to the problems, to the issues people are facing than just the mental health can be triggered by a number of factors.
With millions already infected, others are at their wit's ends with fear.
There are people with pre-existing conditions who are at higher risk of getting the virus. Hence, they are scared to venture out of their homes. People have family members who are frontline workers who have to go to work. These people have a fear of the risk of infecting their family members.
Astonishingly, some still doubt the existence of the virus. Although it's been months since the index case of the coronavirus, there have been changes to human interactions and economic shifts globally.
We need to begin to change our development model. The social indices in development must come to the fore, because every effort at development is meant for the betterment of the human person. But so far, the emphasis has been on GDP, on growth, and the beneficiaries are not reckoned with.
While corporations are downsizing, new approaches to work have been adopted. Education is practically online. The new normal is in full force. These adjustments have also affected finances in the form of exchange expenses, high costs of mobility, delivery, internet services, and health care. Experts say it is imperative for innovative strategies to minimize the psychological effects of the pandemic. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakwe, Nta News.
As community spread of COVID-19 persists, parents have been advised to embrace e-learning as it remains the only option for educating children during the COVID-19 pandemic. Nososla spoke with residents about online learning, and they analyzed the pros and cons of the system.
The COVID-19 pandemic has affected educational systems worldwide, leading to the closure of schools, universities, and colleges. Around the world, schools in over 100 countries are closed to protect against the spread of coronavirus, affecting the education of nearly 1 billion children. Increase in number of COVID-19 cases and extension of partial lockdown in the country has now pointed to the fact that schools are not physically resuming anytime soon. Muritala Anyila, a journalist, urged parents to acquaint themselves with e-learning, as that is the only way to protect children from COVID-19 while schooling.
Gone are the days that we make use of paper, you have to read through, but nowadays you read through online. If you can now introduce online to our students, our pupils, our children by now, I think this is the best way to go. If there's any parent who has not been adopting that system, I think that person needs to have a rethink.
While Mr. Kazim Ugodaga complained about the cost of data for online schooling.
Many students or parents cannot afford data, because if you're going to run an online class, you are going to burn lots of data and lots of money. So what happened to the woman selling Nakaraje or the traders there that cannot afford such money?
The Lagos State Commissioner for Education said government adopted the use of multiple media, including radio, television and the internet, to reach the students at this time of the COVID-19 pandemic.
PTF spoke and said schools remain closed. So really I cannot give you a date for when schools will open. That is clear. But we are working, they too are working with us, with development partners, ministries of education across the country, to come up with a series of protocols for how we will be able to manage.
In the area of school feeding, the commissioner said the state ministry has implemented the homegrown feeding program in Lagos, Nosa, Osula, Nta News.
And the importance of building institutions that will provide knowledge to youth and promote development is being re-emphasized. This was at the official handover of a digital research center built by Chief Atom Banefo to the University of Lagos. Joy Ken Abakwea reports that the event was also to mark the 90th birthday anniversary of the elder statesman.
Having contributed immensely to national development through both the private and public sectors, the utmost desire of Nigeria's former permanent representative to the United Nations, Chief Arthur Mbanefo, was to give back to the society, especially in the areas of education. This, he says, he has achieved to a large extent through his various contributions.
One of the greatest difficulties that the Nigerian universities has had, from my own perspective, has been in two areas: lack of research and lack of libraries, adequate libraries. And so, because of these difficulties, I decided, because I could see the future of internet connections and technology in the world as far as education is concerned. And I decided that as long as the university understands where I'm coming from, I would like to make my investment for my life legacy.
It is no wonder then that the elder statesman chose to spend his 90th birthday at the University of Lagos, where he formally bequeathed his legacy, the Arthur Mbanefo Digital Research Center, to the university. The center, he says, is for the training of young Nigerians who seek self-improvement.
The center remains independent and duly autonomous and responsible exclusively for the enhancement of academic research and productivity.
Appreciating the gesture, Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, says the facility will continue to be maintained and its standards sustained.
It's a purpose-built facility for digital center. We have the library there, which students can use also. People that want to write projects, they want to write a research proposal, they want to do some studies, can come here and make use of the facility.
Chief Arthur Mbanefo has held many positions in Nigeria. He was at different times the Pro-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, and the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakwea, Nta News.
Now talking about democracy, on June 12, 1993, millions of Nigerians expressed their democratic will in a general election. The election was presumed to have been won in a landslide by the standard-bearer of the Social Democratic Party, MKO Abiola, who contested against Mamman Tofa of the National Republican Convention. The election was annulled. He proclaimed himself as the president of the unity government at Epetedo area of Lagos State a declaration known as the Nta2 Declaration. He was arrested and he died in detention. The rest is history. In his remembrance, President Muhammadu Buhari in June 2018 announced that Democracy Day would move to June 12 from 2019 in view of MKO Abiola's contributions to the development of democracy in Nigeria. After MKO Abiola's turbulent journey towards democracy, today, Nigeria is the fourth largest democracy and has practiced this unbrokenly for 21 years. The view of the federal government is that the annulled general election of June 12, 1993 is a more fitting occasion for Democracy Day. Joining me live via Zoom to talk more on the journey so far is a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ozekome. Thanks for joining us on the news at this hour.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Talking about democracy, when we talk about democracy in Nigeria, what would you describe as the gains?
Well, before we discuss, talk about what the gains are, we have to first know whether we have actually achieved any profits, because it is from profits that gains are shared. I think it has been quite challenging. There's no doubt about that. But the fact that it has been unbroken for about 21 years is itself a gain or a profit, particularly having regard to military intrusion on the 15th of January 1966. It must be emphasized that some of us, I particularly, at the 2005 National Political Conference, at the 2009 Bishop 20 Conference, and at the 2014 National Conference, I argued ferociously that June 12 should be declared the Democracy Day and not May 29, because it was on June 12 that Nigerians decided to come together as one family to recreate and regenerate a new nation. But I think that one of the greatest things that the present government has done under Buhari is to change Democracy Day to June 12 instead of May 29, which was a lie in itself. I believe that Nigeria, since the name Nigeria was coined by Miss Flora Lucia Shaw in an article she wrote in the London Times on the 8th of January 1897, from the Niger area, because Nigeria was actually under the Royal Niger Company protectorate territories. It was under a company. She said that name was too long, let us coin a name. That was how she arrived at Nigeria after Nigeria era. We have seen serious challenges of nationhood by the various contesting ethnic groups, religious groups, and all that, from the 1922 Clifford Constitution to the 1946 Arthur Richards Constitution, 1951 Macpherson Constitution, 1954 Little Constitution, 1960 Independence Constitution, 1963 Republican Constitution, 1979 Obasanjo Constitution, 1989 unused IBB Constitution, and to the present 1999 Constitution, which was revised by General Abdulsalami Abubakar, which has been altered 4 times. I believe that Nigeria has gone through the crucibles trying to achieve nationhood with insecurity, corruption, prebendalism, cronyism, and lack of mutual respect and religious tolerance and ethnic accommodation being some of the base. I think my advice to Nigerians is that there is hope at the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Things are difficult. There's no doubt about that. But from difficulty always arises achievements, great achievements across nations of the world. So the civil society itself must always play its own role with the media under Section 22 of the Constitution to hold all governments responsible and accountable to the Nigerian people. Because even in our own homes, if we leave ourselves unchecked by our wives and our children, chances are that we may become dictators.
Okay, now, senior advocate, what is the significance of June 12 to Nigeria's democracy?
The significance of June 12 to Nigerian democracy is that it typifies the day when Nigerians decided to create one nation instead of the many nations or many nationalities we are still having now. But unfortunately, the holder of the mandate of that June 12 was himself murdered in questionable circumstances. So the significance is for Nigerians to realize that if we work very hard, we can still achieve another June 12. That means we can achieve genuine nationhood, genuine social equilibrium, genuine egalitarianism, genuine social justice, genuine democracy, which was given to us by Abraham Lincoln as a definition in 1893 as government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That is the significance of June 12, that we can come together once we decide to come together, and that we should not take our nationhood for granted. Because if you look at other countries of the world that took their nationhood for granted, we saw them breaking up into smithereens. Look at the former USSR, former Yugoslavia, former India.
Okay, now
Pakistan, India, and other countries.
Let me come in here.
Even Sudan and Southern Sudan. Yeah.
Oh, okay, let me come in here. Let's talk about politicians now. Are there lessons to be learned from the June 12 struggle?
Yes, great lessons. Because on June 12, women, men, Muslims, Christians came together to vote for one person, Chief Nta2 Abiola, who was a Muslim and who was running with another Muslim, Alhaji Babagana Kingibe. And they defeated Alhaji Bashir Tofa, even in his Albasa ward in Gadi Kano, in military barracks, in police barracks, in across Nigeria. The voice was the same. They believed Abiola's farewell to poverty mantra as slogan. And they came together. But the current forms of politicians that we are having, they don't allow votes to be counted. When the votes are counted at all, they don't allow the votes to count. Ballot boxes are snatched. Ballot papers are snatched. People are murdered brutally. Houses are burnt. People are waylaid. And all because they want to attain power. And
all
the
right.
question is, if you truly want to serve the people, why do you have to kill and burn and maim?
All right, thank you.
To come to power?
Thank you.
The lesson is that politicians must know that politics is a game of give and take, and that it is not a do or die affair. They are not doing the same.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us on the news at this hour.
Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria.
Amen. That was Mike Ozekome, a senior advocate of Nigeria. You're watching Nta2 News at this hour. We pause here for a break. The news continues shortly.
You say mosquito fit transmit coronavirus. World Health Organization don't talk say e no get any kind evidence wey suggest say mosquito fit spread coronavirus. See, COVID-19 na respiratory virus and it dey only spread when droplets from infected persons spread when they cough or sneeze. For you to dey safe, dey avoid close contact with anybody wey dey cough or sneeze. Here be the tip for today. See, smoking fit put you at higher risk from complications of coronavirus because it dey spoil the lungs. What people don't talk say smokers dey very likely to touch their face and mouth, and this one go raise the risk of transmission. No forget, always remember to wash your hand with soap and water.
Thanks for staying with us. As the Nigerian economy continues to reopen in phases, small and medium-scale business owners who offer personal services have been given a new set of rules to ensure their safety and that of clients. Joy Kenabakwe investigates the compliance level of some outlets in Lagos.
Nigerians have been taking extra measures to stay safe and avoid getting infected with coronavirus. While corporate setups have put measures in place, most beauty parlors are doing the same, which basically is ensuring that their clients are protected.
We just make sure we are using our nose guide, and them too. They have their coats normally wears when they come in. We don't have a lot of customers, just few customers. They are just coming in because of the COVID-19. Everybody is trying to stay home. They just like call us, come and attend to me at home with your equipment, come with your guys. Just make sure you are putting on your masks and your sanitizer with you.
We make sure we wear our nose masks and we wear hand gloves for most of our activities. Maximum of like 2 customers inside and outside, 4 or 3. And before we start anything, wash our hands. And after making customers, we also wash our hands.
Patronage is, however, low, as most ladies admit to have boycotted salons for now.
I don't know how they sanitize the equipment that they use, so I decided to stay on my own, to do it by myself. That's why I came to buy things that I can use and make my hair neat. That's what I need for this period, because I don't want any problem concerning this COVID.
There was a lockdown, so we had to stay at home. So there was no opportunity to go out to actually make the hair. And when the lockdown was eased, I still didn't feel comfortable going out to make my hair because the number kept rising and there's still fear, and so there was no way I could actually go out. I would rather allow my siblings make my hair than for me to go out and make my hair.
The few who still patronize hairdressers reveal that they are taking precautionary measures. The downside to rendering personal services at this time, practitioners point out, is the apathy by clients, which has negatively affected their profit margin tremendously. In Lagos, Joy Kenabakwe, Nta News.
That's it on the news at this hour. Thanks for watching, and we hope you do stay safe.